And one. Okay, Glenda, sure.
Welcome to Reset to Healthier Relationships, Sunday night at 9. I am your host or co-host tonight. I forgot which one. I apologize. I am your co-host, Coach Glenda, and we have a part 2 from last week's discussion. It was such a great topic. We decided to do a part B. Now, as you know, Rufus and I have created this format as a safe place to just relationships. This is not a one size fits all open discussion. There is no topic too minor or major that we cannot discuss. We encourage everyone to participate and speak their truth. This is a non-judgmental zone, so talk as much or as little as you would like. And everybody, I just want to put out here a housekeeping rule. If you are not speaking, can you please mute your phones? We want everybody to be able to talk as freely and as much or as little as they would like without any interruptions or any background noise. So if you are not speaking, please mute your phones. Mr. Carpenter, would you like to say something this evening?
Good evening, everybody. Hey, Dr. Johnson. Hey, Mildred. Hey, Ava. Hey, Andrea. Hey, Wayne Parker. How you doing? Glad to have everybody here tonight. Once again, I'm Rufus Carpenter, the coach manager here at Reset Healthy Relationships, and we're glad to have you here. I just want to remind you that the framework is that you and 20 of your girlfriends are in your living room, and you maybe someone might have a drink of wine or two, and whatever you drink, and you're feeling real relaxed, and you're discussing relationship topics. Now, generally, we have a topic for you that night, but you can speak your truth. You can talk about relationships and ask questions. And we're here to answer those questions because we want you to be informed. I thank Glenda so much for bringing this format to us. And because of that, we're here every Sunday night at 9. All right, once again, welcome aboard. Looking for your comments tonight. Go ahead, Glenda.
Okay, thanks. All right, now as I stated, this is part 2 from last week's topic, and it's love train riders, identifying and dealing with hobosexual relationships. Okay, now, do anyone from last week that was on our call have any comments in regards to hobosexual relationships? Have you experienced it? Do you have any questions from last week? Do I need to give the definition again for the ones that are just joining on that do not know what a hobosexual is? Okay, I'm gonna give the definition just in case, okay? It is let's see. Have you heard of the term hobosexual? It blends hobo and sexual. This term describes individuals who who seeks relationships primarily for material gain rather than genuine connection. Sounds like someone that is looking for financial gain only. They're looking to someone only for their resources, what they can do for them versus what he or she can do for the other person. And I think most of the time it pertains to men. Most of the scenarios that I have heard of and witnessed, they were men riding off of the skirt tails of a woman because she was more successful, she had more going for her than him. So anyone has any comments from last week? Do they want to have any questions? You want any type of clarity in the definition? Let's see. Andre is back in this chat. Andre, I missed you so much. I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. I'm so glad to have you back on. Okay, Andre says the inflation, let's see, about to send hobos packing. Okay.
Let me start us off because I want to make sure we all understand how this is. Hope we dressed it up with a nice word, hobosexual. But the deal is somebody taking advantage of another person. It could be male or female. And when you're taking advantage of a person, we're saying that you're going into it not so much to further the connection, but you're going in for material gain of your own. You want to use someone else's resources to get to where you want to go with it. And it's not necessarily for a long-term relationship. And we've all seen it. This is nothing new. Yes, we dressed it up and gave it a real fancy name, but you've seen it where a young lady, normally a young lady will go to work and have a man at home, and the man will be there, and sometime the man would use her car to take her to work, and she would work a full day, and he'd be home riding around in her car and doing whatever he wanted, and she's taking care of him. We've seen it. I've seen it. I know you've seen it in your community and stuff like that. So it do happen. But when we see these things, some of us think this is normal action or normal stuff, but it's not.
Right.
It's not. You know how the old people say every tub must stand on its own bottom? If you understand that term, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I've seen it. Have you seen it? Let's talk about it. Tell me some of the ways that you've seen that someone manipulated another person in a relationship where it wasn't so much for the long-term connection, but it was more for a game. Some people call it gold diggers. Some people call it homosexuals, like we're calling it here. Some people call it pimp, all kind of names. What have you seen? What do you say, Andre? When a woman uses her kids as a pawn for sympathy? Correct. I've seen that. That's happened to me before, so I know exactly what you're talking about with that one. That's close to home. So let's talk about it. Share somebody. Mildred, share with me, Mildred.
Yes, I like the thought that we brought up last week as well, where we said sometimes it may not be that they need a place to lay their head. They may have their own job, they may have their own place, but for the relationship, they're not ready to commit. So they start like riding this train, and then when they get somewhere else, they want to jump off and check that area to see what they see, or they see somebody they want to get into to see if this is different. Like they're not satisfied. They're in a relationship, but that's not what they really want. So they just ride until the next stop or to see if they
That
find
sounds
something.
like commitment issues.
Yes.
That sounds like the old day hoe hopping. I mean, if we're talking, let's talk. All of us grown. Let's have some fun with it, huh? Is that what you're talking about, Mildred?
Oh,
She may not want to co-sign on that one.
I gotta say, just putting it nicely. Yes, because they have everything else. So it's not that's the only thing they're looking for. Just there until they find something different, or find what they're looking for, find where they're ready to settle down and commit. So yeah, I guess that's what you would definitely call it, but putting it nicely.
Yeah. And this happens all the time, everybody. It happens. And this is why we want to talk about this tonight. So we can identify some of the traits, some of the manipulating, and then we can say some of the things we can do to enlighten ourselves and become aware. Because once you become aware, it's easier to deal with, it's easier to understand, it's easier to avoid that and empower yourself or empower someone else around you in that circumstance. And that's what this is all about. So that's what we're talking about right now. Who else want to share? Who else can share something about that?
Well, Andre says that, and it honestly seems like people are no longer fulfilled in their relationship nowadays.
Well, Andre, they got something called modern relationships. In modern relationships, there's no norms. That's what you and your partner decide, that you want to do, or you're big and bad enough to do. That's what it is now. It's no set norms. It used to be that they used to be that the husband or the guy was a breadwinner, and he would go out and meet someone, or he'll go out and find a lady and court her, and then they become a relationship, and everybody knew their role, or everybody knew what lane they were supposed to stay in. But that has changed now. That's changed tremendously. And a lot of those changes are done behind society. Society has brought a lot of changes. A lot of people see Black women now as strong, domineering, and they feel like, hey, if she wants to wear the pants and be strong, hey, let her have that role. And some women have now raised kids, grown men in their house. They got grown kids 20, 30, 40 years old still staying with the mom. And and the kid feel that mom still has responsibility taking care of them. 78% of Black youth now go to homes of single parent homes. And the majority of those single parent homes are by single Black females.
Right.
So that's what we're dealing with today, and that's what we're talking about. So that's what we're talking about. That's what we're dealing with now. So that's what we're talking about.
Can I ask a question?
Please
Absolutely.
do.
When Mr. Carpenter, when you were just saying about being a strong Black woman, and if you're in a relationship, can that create a situation for the hobo sexual relationship?
I think maybe, because when you ask your question again, because I want to make sure I'm answering clearly.
When you're dealing with a strong Black woman and a man can't deal with that, can that create a situation where the man can become like a hobo? It could turn into a hobo relationship, saying she taking care of everything. Why do I need to do anything?
Yes, I see your point. In some respects, it can be. It can be, because some men play on that. That's manipulative. Some men see that as an opportunity, and they actually play on that. I remember once when I was young, I was in a relationship, and I think I was like 19, or I know I was really young. And this lady, she was on welfare, and we were dating, and she's just want to buy me stuff. And I'm saying, wait a minute now. You've got 2 kids, you're on welfare, and you want to buy me stuff. I'm saying, don't buy me anything. I'm good. I'm straight. But she wanted, that was the way she showed her love and affection. But if I was the kind of guy that said, okay, would take and take, I could have rode that train forever. But because the way I was brought up, I couldn't do that. So Dr. Johnson, I understand your point there. And let's talk about it. What would you do if you saw your girlfriend or your family member, or your sister or your brother in a situation like that? How would you enlighten them? How would you help them? What advice would you have for them?
Well, I wasn't living in the same area at the time, but my god sister went through that.
Ooh.
At first, it was the man moving in with her. Everything was good. Everything was fine. He was working and everything. When it changed, I don't know, but he lost his job, and he began to use her resources. I used up her credit cards, even applied for a credit card in her name. She had to take him to court.
How long did it last?
I think when it all started, maybe 2 years, and she had caught hell trying to get her name cleared and all that financial mess that he created.
This is happening all the time.
Right.
This is happening all the time. Go ahead, Glenda.
Well, I noticed that I have a friend that she experienced something similar, but she causes it herself because she is so she desires to be in a relationship so bad that she will give money freely. You know, if a man asks her for money, she doesn't have a problem giving it. And, you know, anything that he needs or he portrays that he needs, whether he's working or not, and he can even have his own place and a job. She's always so forthcoming with her resources. And she got hit real hard for, over $10,000. And now she's in the process of taking him to court to try to get the money back because she did put up he signed off on something. They tried to make it like a legal agreement that he was going to pay her back, but when it was time to pay her back, he didn't come through. He gave her all types of excuses, but in my opinion, the reason why she fell for that trap was because she wanted to be in a relationship so bad. She was willing to take anything that anybody would give her. And I said, and I didn't want to beat her up because she was already beating herself up because she was out of over $10,000. I more or less said, just don't do that again. Please don't do that again.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Does that sound like Sharon?
Hi.
Please do.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm still old fashioned with that. I do not believe in taking care of no man. I'm just not gonna do that. I'm sorry. I will be a helper, but I'm not taking care of no man.
Absolutely.
It's Sharon. Since you said that, and
Yes.
I'm glad you said that, and I appreciate your comment there. But now, have you seen any of your girlfriends or any of your family members or any close relatives or neighbors that have took care
Yes,
of men?
yes, I have seen it a lot, and that's what made me determined to be not like that because I feel like I'm not gonna let no man take advantage of me. I'm gonna be the valuable one in the relationship. I'm not gonna make him more valuable than I am. I'm just
Right.
sorry.
And we
Exactly.
call that self-worth. Self-worth.
Right.
You know your value. You know your own value. And everybody should come to the table should have some kind of equal investment in it. When you come as a union, you should bring equal value. You bring equal value. It should be some kind of equity there, some form of fashion. So I
Well,
agree.
I don't think a relationship is never going to be 50-50.
Mhm.
I just don't believe that. But I believe in everybody know their role or everybody knows the position that they need to be in to make it a healthy relationship.
Right.
Okay, I agree. I'll take that.
I firmly believe in letting a man be a man since,
Me
they
too.
always want to talk about being the head of the household and they running things. I need for you to show me. So
Me
I
too,
agree with
Brenda.
you.
Okay.
Now, Andre said something in the comment when he said to validate when person do the hobosexual to validate. Andre, can you explain that more because I can't explain it the way you wrote it. Can you explain that more for us?
Yes, sir. I was thinking that sometimes people, well, let me just kind of go back and give context. I was joking with a friend today and I was saying how there are a lot of homeless people who have all this self-esteem to approach a female in a Mercedes or something like that. And when I started asking myself again, like, why would a person in a person in a Mercedes, even be bothered with trying to smile and have a conversation with somebody who's homeless? And then I started wondering, does the person who has the, I guess, who's affluent, do
Mm-hmm.
they not feel validated enough? And maybe that's why they're accepting this foolishness, this hobo person,
Mm-hmm.
because they make them feel like they make them feel better about themselves, I guess.
Okay. Now, Glenda, what are you talking about thirsty trap? Explain that to me so
I
I know.
said thirsty women. I said thirsty women. Women that they have to be with a man or they feel like they can't get a man. They fall for those types of traps. Like he said, it doesn't even make sense. If you are a hobo, you're homeless, or you're in between jobs, you have so much confidence in yourself to go talk to someone in a Mercedes, but the man can only get as far as the woman allowed. So if she's entertaining it, she must be real desperate or real needy.
Well, somebody help me out. Somebody help me. How do you determine who you love, or how do relationships happen? Let's go back to the basics.
It's a connection.
How does that connection happen?
Yeah.
Somebody help me out, because we going from a connection to now somebody really using other people's resources. It's a connection, but you go from the connection to now someone just playing you like a fiddle.
Well, I got something to say.
Please do.
I got something to say. You remember me saying last week that when I was at Starbucks that I met this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, we're gonna see how far this goes. It didn't take him 4 days to ask me for $100. And I asked him, I said, what makes you think I will give you $100? I said, when you figure that out, you come back to me. I said, but other than that, don't call me no more. And I think is if a person's self-esteem is not very high, then they will fall for the nonsense.
Absolutely.
But I wasn't raised to take care of men. I mean, when it comes to the money thing, no.
You said something, Gigi, that's very important. The way you were raised, how you were raised to take care of men. I see the flip side. I see how single parent households, which are women, single women parent households, the women are raising their boys to be taken care of by women. The women are telling their boys, teaching their young boys that they give them everything without responsibility. The young boys aren't required to go have any chores. Little boys aren't required to clean the rooms. The little boys aren't required to do anything extra. As a matter of fact, everything is given to them. The mom want to make sure they have Nike. They want to make sure they have the best Jordans. Want to make sure they have the best clothes. The mom's been to work her fingers to the bone to make sure these boys have everything they need and want, and with no kind of consequences. Guys don't even have to do good in school. And the mom give them everything they want, and they give it. And then when they graduate from school, if they graduate from school, they still in mom's house. So they've been taught all their life that a woman was going to take care of you. And especially they go find another strong woman out there as a girlfriend, and she take care of them. So the cycle has been repeating itself. It's what they were raised to do. Anybody knows that other than me? Andre, you got some.
Some of us are. But I raised my boys to be a helpmeet to their wife. I forgot the one thing, and that was to help them to recognize someone that wanted to help versus someone that wanted them to take care of them all the time. You know, the ladies that don't want to work, don't want to do anything, and just lay back and let you bring the money home, and they lay up and get their nails and toes done.
Yep. If we take a survey right now on the line, how many single moms we think we have on this line? Some, especially single moms that raise boys. If we take a survey right now, how many single moms on this line have raised boys? I'm thinking at least 3, because I think it's about 12 people online or 10 people online. I'm thinking at least 3 of the ladies here have raised boys. Now, have any of you seen in indicators where now some boys can be lazy as all get up. They don't want to do. You got to make them do. You got to provide instructions for them. And if this don't happen when they're young, we're creating issues. So it's our culture. What is our culture? What do we do as a culture of people? Let's because I want to make sure that we really look at where this thing come from, because this don't happen in a vacuum. And this is something that this didn't happen last week. This has been going on for years. This has been going on for years. I've seen it as I'm 70 years old right now. I've seen it as a child. I've seen ladies take care of men, and I still see it going on. So if it's still going on now, when is it going to end? What does it take to end that?
Well,
Do we educate the
can I
girls?
say,
Do we educate the guys?
well, you know what I've noticed is really going on?
Uh-huh.
Women are getting so self-sufficient and so self-supporting now that we don't really have many to choose from as far as a
Uh-huh.
guy who is on our level.
And that is true. I will agree with you. The pickings are slim.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that a lot of times parents need to, when they're raising, whether it's girls or boys,
Mm-hmm.
you do have to. I know that once upon a time when my children, my sons were growing up in the house with me before they went to their fathers, I tried to encourage them and teach them how to be independent. Even when I went to go put gas in the car, it was a man's job. I was trying to when they got to a certain age, I would try to teach them how to put gas in the car for me versus me standing out there. Like even opening the door for me when they got to a certain age when they could open the door. So, you start early. A lot of the teaching and the upbringing, it starts at home. But then I know that for myself, one of my oppositions was my ex-husband. Everything I tried to teach my sons that was positive and that would help them be better, productive men in society, he was always against it. I think it was more so because he was mad that I divorced him, but at the same time, he was also hurting his sons in the process. Because I know that I can't teach my sons how to be 100% man, but I can teach them how to treat a woman to a certain degree, how to respect her, how to respect her, how to talk to her, things to do and what not to do. Teaching him his role sometimes as a man when it pertains to being a family man, being in a relationship. Because anytime I said anything, my ex-husband was always, oh, don't listen to her. I'm like, okay, all right, that's fine. And then the boomerang effect took place, and everything that he said more or less backfired because he was going left and I was going the other way. And I'm like, what did you think was gonna happen?
And that shows right there, like Andre said, this is a complex subject and a complex topic. And it really is, because when we're talking about one person manipulating the other or manipulating habits or traits in a relationship, when you go in a relationship, it should be where both people should benefit from it. You're
Absolutely.
you're bettering your life by bringing on another person into your life, and that union is supposed to yield great fruit. You both were supposed to benefit from that union, whether it be man or woman. Both are supposed to benefit. And someone
Absolutely.
said know your lane and know your role. That's cool if the role is clear. When you go into a relationship, you're thinking all the best things. And remember, we talked about the 5 different stages of a relationship or romance or courting, and we talked about those things and how you go through and filter when you first see the person. They can't do no wrong. You love them to death. You always want to be around them. You can't do without them. And that's when you first get there, and that's when, okay, everybody's on their best behavior normally in that time frame, because you want to present your best foot forward. So everybody want to be the other one. And then that second stage, it's called a norming stage, when you've been together for a little bit and you've seen them, and you know a little bit more about the person, and they know your traits, you know their traits. And this is when you get to see if this is going to work for you. if this is the person, this is your person, or this is the person you know, you can hit your wagon up to. And that third stage is when you have to make a decision. Now you got to decide whether you're going to commit to this person, or you're going to trade in, or you're going to be like Angela used to say, be like Forrest and just run. So in that third stage is where this part of what we're talking about now need to be figured out or worked out. Because if you go beyond that third stage and haven't figured it out, you can get that's when you start having problems. That's when you start having problems. And all the communication in the world won't help you then. So let's talk about that third stage. That third stage, and you got to make a decision: is this the person for you or not? When you get in that stage, you've got to know two. You got to know two important things. The first is your self-worth, and the second are your boundaries. Now, the boundaries are set not just for the other person, but for yourself. Because when Glenda said about her friend, where her friend lost $10,000, if her friend had set boundaries, I'm not going to get no money. I'm not going to get no money. You can say, when you say brother, fellow, whatever you want to say, but I'm not going to give nobody no money.
Right.
Or I'm going to limit the amount of money. You know, when you start doing that, when you know that, 10,000 would have never happened.
Absolutely.
Because if you say, well, hey, look, you know, I'll buy a hamburger. I might even buy you a shirt. But I'm not buying no cars.
Right. No houses.
Yeah. And this is all we're trying to say. In that third stage, in that commitment stage, is where we have to figure this out. Now, what are some of the boundaries that you have? If let's somebody share your boundaries. What boundaries you have going into the third stage of romance or relationship? Let's somebody that haven't talked recently. Anybody online that haven't talked recently? Let's hear what are some of the boundaries you have in that third stage. I don't want to call nobody because we don't want to do that. But somebody, can you help me? Somebody, what are some of the stages you have now? Andre said, "I'm not signing up for no credit card." That's a real good one. That's a real good one. Because I know people that give their boo a credit card, and they said, "This is case of emergency." This in case you have emergency. Here it is. I got you. It's case of emergency. Go ahead, Sharon. What you saying?
But you can't move in. I'm not letting them move in with me.
Amen.
Okay, so one, we got not giving credit cards, not lending money. Somebody said not lending money, not letting them move in. Give me some more boundaries. What are some more boundaries? Ava, what are some of the boundaries you have in that third stage of romance?
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Oh, don't do that. That's a good one. Don't do that. if they asking you for something that you don't do that.
No, I'm talking to you. Don't do that.
Oh.
I knew what you said when you said that, but that's why I said don't do that.
I know what she meant, but you took it the other way.
Yeah, I knew what she meant, Ava. I knew what you meant. Thank you, Ava. I knew what you meant. But yeah, but that's what are some of the boundaries? Because I want to get a lot of them out. One is don't get no credit card. Don't let them move in. And what was it? Some more?
Not lending money.
Not lending money.
Lending money.
Not lending money. Give me some more. Let's do at least 10. So we got 4 already. We got 6 more. Let's get 6 more boundaries. Let's get 6. What's that? BC? Only get 1 car. We can't.
No, you're not buying a car.
Okay, if you have a car, you can't. We're not gonna share. Okay, we're not. You're gonna fix credit or not fixing credit? Oh, you're gonna fix their credit.
Fixing their credit. You're not gonna fix their credit.
Okay, not fixing their credit. That's 6. Give me another one. Oh, not okay. You made it clear. Okay, not fixing the credit. We need 4. We need 4 more. Give me 4 more. Not billing them. Okay. Okay, not build. I guess not building them mean that if there's somebody that need a lot of work, you're not going to invest the time building them up. Is what you're saying? Is that, did I take that right?
I think it was Andrea. What do you mean by building him?
I think what if I understand what she's saying if this person is broken or this person have a lot of issues, she's not going to invest any time. She's not going to be a social worker, is what she's saying.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
She's not
she wants
correct.
but she wants to already.
He got to
built
come already built.
That's it.
Oh,
That's right.
Okay.
Already built. She's not gonna put her social worker hat on and go down there and do a lot of extra. No, she ain't doing that.
Okay, Gigi, what do you mean by not dressing them up? You talking about clothing?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes, because sometimes I know me. Sometimes I wear outdated stuff.
Around here,
yep. Yeah,
they wear Stacey Adams and mud on their shoes.
Yep. That you right. That's one. Give me.
So if they came in with a white beater, they're gonna leave with a white beater.
Exactly.
We need two more. We need two more things you have to do.
What about not playing the wifey role?
Okay, not playing the wife. That's a big one.
Benefits and you're not a husband.
Oh, that's a Glenda 101. Jesus.
What you trying to say? What you trying to say?
All right, one more. We can move on. Give me one more. Give me one. You got a good one? What's a good one? What's a good one? The wife. I think she said the wifey role was a good one. All right, give me one more and we can move on.
I know.
Give me one more. No access to your bank account.
No access to the banking account?
That says bank account, but wait a minute, hold up.
Well, you know what he meant. Read in between the lines, sir.
Okay.
We typing.
Okay. All right, no access to the bank account. Okay, so we got that. So we know the third stage is
that means they're not going to give them the PIN number.
Okay, and that's a good idea. Because like when somebody said when you said your partner was your friend Glenda was trying to get her money back, and she went to court, took him to court, she couldn't get the money back because once the money's gone,
well, she hasn't had a court date yet.
Yeah, but once the money's gone, it's pretty much gone. If she,
that's what I'm thinking too. But
and you know what? When you take a person to court, because you try to get money like that, you have to pay $100 some up to almost $100 some to try to go get money that you already lost. So you putting good
just the file,
bad money.
Just the file.
Yeah, just the file. So it's no quick, easy fix in that.
Right.
So that's something that's something that's not a good fix. All right, now we've covered that. We've covered the step 3 when you in step 3. In step 3 of phase 3 of courting, you decided in that commitment stage that this person isn't for you. Your boundaries, the person then walked all over your boundaries, and you say this ain't it. How do you end those? How do you end? What's your exit strategy? This is a Glenda question. This is a Glenda comment. What's your exit strategy? How do you break it off? You've been in a relationship with a person now. Let's say you've been in about 6 months or 3 months or 3 weeks, whatever it takes for you to get to that third stage. How do you break it off? What do you do? Do you do it's not me? You do it's not me, it's you, or you block them? Well, help me out. What's the modern?
No, I do pushback.
No, I just said bye.
Bye. Okay, you just say bye.
See you. Yeah, I tell them see you.
See you.
See you. See you. I'm out.
Bye bye.
Block them cold turkey and tell them you lost all of the contact. Laugh out. Unless I'm being for real.
I know for myself, I do pushbacks. You know, they're gonna continue to ask you for stuff. You ask for money, ask you to do things. Just I can't do that. Because eventually they're gonna get like one of the number one comments that have come up with me is, well, I remember I remember too. And that's it. I stop right there. Yep, I remember too. And it's like crickets in the room. Because they already know what it means. They already know what it means. Oh, that means she ain't gonna do no more. You're right, I'm not.
Do it hurt with a connection when you can't make the connection and you have to say goodbye, you have to break it off? Does it hurt at all?
Me?
No.
Look, we butt out. I mean, we did all we could. My bank account and my my resources is taking a hit. No, it don't hurt me. It already did. He or she did the damage already. No. When it's time to say deuces, it's like, oh, okay, well, I got to take that L.
It don't hurt me either, Glenda. It don't hurt me either.
No, because you done took all you could. You be like, deuces, all right. But you know what? I'm gonna take that one for the team, but it won't happen again.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. I mean, and what's that? Women take loss better than men do. Is that true? The women take a loss better than men do?
I don't think so, and not in my opinion, because all men do. They go for one. What you say? What you say earlier in the discussion? You said hoe hopping. Y'all just go for one woman to the next.
You got me laughing now.
Oh, excuse me. Oh! I thought you was gonna have a comeback. I'm sorry.
No, what's this? Let me switch. Say, Andre, we have an investor. It's harder to take a loss. Yeah, and this is why it's very important that we
Who is it hard for?
What now? I mean, think about it. If you invest in a person and you,
I say, who is it hard? Who is?
I mean, I think, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm a hopeless romantic. I guess because when you've invested time in this person, when you first met this person, you had a connection, that whirlwind romance, and you've been together for about 6, 7, 8 months, and then you decide, hey, look, you say, oh man, this ain't quite working the way I had planned. You don't feel like it's a loss. You don't feel like it's like you lost something. You don't feel that emptiness. You don't feel that, man, I used to call you every night.
Maybe I'm a little confused because men and women act differently.
Wait, somebody else said something, Glenda. Who else was talking? Wait a minute. You learn and you leave. What do you okay, you leave. I missed what you said. What did she say, Glenda?
Thank you, Andrea.
Hi. You live and you learn. You don't repeat your mistakes. You learn from your mistakes.
Okay.
You move on.
Okay. And that's a good one. You learn from your mistakes because each relationship, you get some type of experience. You get feedback. You get some type of experience. So you learn. And when you learn, you got to apply that. You can't keep falling into the same trap, or you can't keep repeating the same behavior. You have to learn and move on.
Live and let go.
Yep. Men do deal with it differently than women. Correct.
That's right. They go to the next woman real quick. Less than 30 days. They already have one already waiting and lined up before they, they fully exit the current relationship.
They have them on the hook.
Right.
You know what, Glenda, you say that, but women, I think women maneuver a lot better than men do. I think women maneuver a lot better than men do.
You think so? I guess that's going to be where we differ because I can't agree with you.
I agree with Glenda. Y'all taught us how to do that.
Yes, you guys have. I won't say you, Mr. Carpenter. No, not you.
You know what? And I learned. I'm into music. I learned about music. And what's that song when a woman says, "Get just pack your bag, stuff you should," but she have another one by the time you leave. And that's in song. Pack your bags. I mean, this is songs.
Is that who was that? What's it? What was the artist?
I'm just saying.
Songs.
And we having fun now, but I heard it in songs.
Yep, Erykah Badu. I ain't want to be wrong, but I was thinking it. Thank you, Andre. He got my back.
Yeah, they have it in songs, so I think women maneuver better. And what's that one? What's another song? Oh man, was that Beyonce one about your stuff on the lawn or something?
To the left.
Yes.
Everything in the box to the left. Okay.
Yes. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm
I
listening
don't
to.
know, but men got souls too, because that's all they want to talk about is, hoe hopping.
Okay.
They relieve
Now,
their stress by sex, they leave one woman and go to the next.
all right. Let's talk about some of the ways of empowering ourselves. What are some of the things that we can do to ensure that we don't fall into these traps, or we can help a younger person or something to keep from having these problems? So first thing, what are some of the red flags? What are some of the red flags that we can that are shown when persons start doing this kind of stuff?
They're always needy.
Always
Yep,
needy.
always
That's
asking for
one.
something.
And we should always be on the lookout of what these red signs are. When a person is more interested in what you can provide for them instead of a meaningful relationship, you got to make sure you understand that's not healthy. Okay, self-worth and boundaries. That's what we just covered. So you got to have clear boundaries. You got to make sure the boundaries sometimes are for yourself, not so much for the other person, especially if you know your value.
Absolutely.
You know your value. Communication is key. Open and honest communication is essential. Explain your needs. Go ahead. What you saying, Glenda?
I know that I had to adopt this mentality a few years ago. Actually, I shared it with my father. I said, when I negotiated my wages on this new job, I negotiated my wages for the number of people in my household. That's one. So I won't be helping nobody else out.
That makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I'm not helping nobody else. So when you ask for gas money or you falling short on your rent or your baby, I can't help you. I can give you some good advice, because McDonald's is always hiring, UPS, FedEx, even Walmart. They even door greeters all day long.
Yep.
You go out there and get you a second job.
Yep. And when you express your needs, make sure when you share your concerns, and especially listen to your partner talk about what their needs and concerns are, make sure you listen to what they're saying and not saying. Because sometimes they're actually telling you they agree to set you up. You just not hearing it, but they're telling you. So make sure you understand that. Let's talk about building trust. Go ahead.
Right. Sorry. Make sure you have them elaborate. When they make a comment, say, what do you mean? What do you mean when you say that? Don't just take a man or woman at their word. Ask them what they mean.
Yes, trust is a foundation for a healthy relationship. Be on the watch out for inconsistent behavior. And watch a person's motive. That's something. And we talk about financial equity. True partnership involved in equity. And I know Sharon said that there may not always be equal, may not always be 50-50, but make sure both are contributing something. Make sure that both people are contributing something.
Absolutely.
Because if they're not contributing something, then it's one-sided. Okay, empower through knowledge. You got to know what you're doing in this relationship game stuff. Because if you're a babe in the woods, you about ready to get took. So make sure you understand what's going on. Learn from your past experience, like she just said a few minutes ago. You learn and you move on. You got to love yourself. That's one key. You got to embrace self-love. And you got to realize something. You got to win too. You can't always lose or take an L. When you start taking too many L's, something ain't right.
That's right.
So you got to respect your own self.
Right. Now,
and one thing I like about girls.
Absolutely. Now, Andre said.
Go ahead. What Andre say?
Oh, okay. Andre said something in the chat. He said, I think people should feel comfortable saying no and not feeling guilty. And I do agree with him on that. You shouldn't feel bad when you tell someone no. Even if they catch an attitude or blow up, you should be like, oh, okay. Just let it roll off your back, just like water. Like, okay, it'll be okay.
And with
my boyfriend tells me,
and
go
with
ahead,
living and learning and letting go, you don't want to make the same mistakes over and over again because you're not learning.
That's true.
Right.
If you keep jumping into this, right, you're a habitual offender. If you keep making the same mistake, setting yourself up for the okey doke.
You're correct. You're correct. You're right, because you're
You're
the
not
person in that, and you
learning anything. You're not learning anything.
That's it. That's it. And when you find a partner, try to find someone that's genuine, someone that's honest, and at least make sure they have honest intent. You know, somebody, you want to look for somebody that way. These are the things you start when you size up someone that you're looking to have a relationship with. You got to make sure that there's somebody that you think are worthy. Because when you're dating beneath who you are, you know, you got to realize you've already set yourself up. Now, one thing I like about you ladies are really good. You guys got a supportive sisterhood. You know, you guys really talk to each other and say, girl, let me tell you this right here. Have you noticed, you know, that complex relationship that you ladies have amongst each other? I really appreciate that. I wish guys were like that, because guys let you walk into one trap to another and they'll look at you and laugh at you. See that? I knew that fool's gonna do that. Well, ladies, y'all don't do that. So I appreciate that, you ladies. But that's what guys will do. Well, guys will let you walk into a trap and say, I knew that.
I do know some male friends. I know some guys that are friends that won't let their brother fall into a trap. They'll call them out on their dirt. It's not many, but there are a few that I do know of. It's like less than 5.
Yeah, but sisters, you guys are y'all are pulling somebody aside right quick. Girl, that fool, he tried to do that same crap to me. Watch out. Don't believe a damn thing he say. Y'all do that. And that's
the point. That's isn't that how reset came about, Mr. Carpenter?
Yeah, and that's how reset came about. And that makes all the difference in the world. So I appreciate you ladies for doing that. I wish the fellas would do something very similar, but we don't. We don't. You know, we get somebody.
All right, Mr. Carpenter, you're sounding like the Matrix.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then maybe you need to talk some, Glenda. How about now? Am I still sound like the Matrix? Am I still sound like the Matrix?
Not at the moment, but I saw a pop-up that says the internet is unstable.
Okay. All right, then. Okay. We don't have much longer. We got maybe another 5 minutes. We ended up anyway. But one important thing, trust your gut. Trust your gut. Intuition is very powerful. If you feel like something's off and this joker ain't what you think he is, trust your gut. Please make sure you do that. And seek clarity. I couldn't hear that.
Yes.
I didn't hear that.
I said, and trust your eyesight too. Because
say it again, Sharon.
I said, and trust your eyesight too. Because sometimes you see stuff is not spoken, but you can see it.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Because you want to use your 5 senses when it comes to a relationship. Because we're at the age now, we don't have too many oops left in us. We don't want to be starting over and over and over and over again. We want to move forward fast instead of going backwards and saying, oh, here we go again. Another one got me. So take especially this night and just look at some things we talked about and make it a rule and make it a point that you're going to love yourself first, that you're going to set boundaries, you're going to communicate, and you're going to seek clarity.
Yeah.
If you do just those few things there, you should be okay. You should be okay. All right. Did anybody in the audience want to say anything or any words of wisdom? You guys want to share something? Okay, Glenda, I'm turning it over to you.
Well, I do thank everybody for sacrificing their time coming out tonight. I will not hold you any longer because I do not want any accidents or hiccups tonight with our connection, because we need to get this Zoom call tape recorded and stored in the files. So if you don't have anything else to say, as always, we look forward to you guys joining our Facebook group. If you have not already, we show our Sunday night videos on the upcoming Wednesday. If you missed it or you want to share it with someone, please let them know that they can view us on Wednesday. And if there is nothing else anyone else want to, oh, thank you so much. If there's nothing else anyone has to say, I would like to go ahead and shut this down so Mr. Carpenter can get this recording downloaded and saved to our file. So good night, everyone. I hope you stay safe, and I hope the technology issues didn't affect any of you guys.
Have a good night.
A good night, everybody. Nice
Same to
seeing you
you.
guys. Good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, Mr. Carpenter, stop recording. I want to make sure that we can get it recorded.